Okay, class, this is actually for Wednesday, but I'm going to post this early because some of you are very curious about how this is going to work towards the end here. This is our last video until our Friday Fun Day video. And so really this is my last chance to directly instruct you, but we're going to have lots of Zoom opportunities. Um, just some reminders. Again, this is our last sort of regular video. Essays for honors are due by the start of your class Friday, at least that third body paragraph. Uh, all my other classes, your makeup document of the week is due by the start of your class on Friday. If you are missing a test still, we actually have a little bit of time we can use next week as well, but you want to talk to me and get that scheduled right away. That was given about a month ago. So let's talk a little bit about how the rest of the week goes. I'm going to have Zoom meetings available for you, just like we have been, from 10 a.m. to 10:30, where you can ask me questions. And I can certainly answer questions beyond that. That's not going to be an issue at all. But we are going to have sessions where we are going to do a mock Congress from 1 until roughly 2 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that'll appear in your feed, the link. Now, what you'll do then is you will appear, and I will treat you as if we're doing a virtual Senate or House of Representatives meeting. And we will go through the bills. I will present the bills. As long as the committee members have not killed the bills, you will have the opportunity to debate them and decide whether or not they will go forward or not. So to do that, there's some weird format we're going to use, which I'll get to in a little bit. If you would like the 5 participation points that are the last part of your presentation rubric, I've decided that you can either do one of two things. You can go through your class's posted presentations and make comments on them. I'll give you a point for each one. Or you can go to Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday Zoom and participate in the debate over those bills. You do not have to do all 3. You can do one of those. So that gives you an opportunity to earn those points, whether you are in the Zoom debate, or if you don't have access to Zoom or you don't feel comfortable with Zoom, you can make the comments directly on your class's page. I think it's probably easier to do the Zoom debate. There is one exception or one little change. I've got to be able to see you. It's just too easy for you to do something with some shenanigans if you're not going to show yourself on screen. So if you're going to get the participation points, I've got to actually see you. If you're not comfortable with that, do the other. That's fine. Make 5 comments on 5 different bills from your class in the comment. Otherwise, just come to the Zoom, participate, vote. You're going to get your 5 points. When you are participating, I want to show you the form that is linked here that you have to use when talking. This is going to be a little bit different here. So you will see this PBL speaking guide, okay? So what you have to do is, the very first time you raise your hand and get called on by me, I'm the chair or the person running the meeting, you have to say your state, your name, and then your state. So you'll say, oh, I'm Bob Jones from Indiana, whatever you decided, your state was. And then you will, if you have a question, you will say, will the representative, or you could say chair, yield to a question. Now, if you don't have a question, you just want to make a statement, you could just say, will the representative or chair yield to a statement? That's this line here. And then you simply make your statement or ask your question. If the author of the bill happens to be in that Zoom session, I'm going to have them be who will have the floor for a little bit. If they are not, then it will be me sort of directing that conversation. So I'm the chair, the other person who wrote the bill is the author. As long as you get this part, you're going to be fine. But if not, I'm going to say you're out of order. Now, you're not going to lose any points for that, but you actually can't participate until you are in order, until you do it the right way. So I will link this form, but you will say the very first time, you don't have to say it every time, your name, the state you represent, and then this has to happen every time. Will the representative yield to a question? Or if it's me, will the chair yield to a question? Or will the representative yield to a statement? So you are going to be saying things like, if it's a statement, I think your bill is awful and I'm going to vote against it. That's fine. That's a statement. I think your bill's incredible. It's such a good idea. That's a statement. Your question will, if you ask a question, even if the question is, how in the world do you think this is a good idea? The person you're asking it of, if that representative who happened to write that bill is there, they automatically then get the floor because you are asking them a question and they have the right to respond to that statement. If somebody makes a statement about your bill, hey, your bill is awful, you can raise your hand virtually. We'll talk about that once we get into the Zoom meetings. And you may or may not get called on. I'll try to, because obviously I think the person who wrote the bill is very directly involved. But you might not get called on right away. But if they ask a question, the floor immediately goes to you. If this sounds confusing, do not be intimidated by this. This is actually the fun part of this. It's even better in real life, but it'll work this way. Don't be intimidated by this. When you are told you're out of order, it's kind of funny, and it just means you can't talk, but you can just come back and talk again. If you get when and if you get called on. So let me see if I could share a different document with you. Yes. Okay. So just to make sure we understand this, I'm technically giving you Wednesday's material today, which is Tuesday. That's why I call it Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we are going to be running Zoom opportunities for questions, just like usual, 10 a.m. Wednesday through Friday, and Zoom opportunities for participation at 1 p.m. Figure that would give more of you a chance for many of you to wake up and actually be presentable. 1 till roughly 2, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You don't have to do all those. You can do one of those. And so most of you have your planning form, your bill done, because I'm recording this at 12:30 on Tuesday. Your presentation's about a third of them in, and I imagine I'm going to have a lot more in the next 3.5 hours. And there are 4 of you who aren't doing a presentation. You're getting committee form feedback. So this is sort of our schedule for the rest of the week. And again, on Friday, I'm going to do a fun day video, and that's it. We are done. It's been a weird year. There's been some good growth for some of you this year. So it's going to be a little different doing it this way. For example, when we normally do bills in class, it's easier to pick up on the format. You have to stand up when you talk. We won't do that for this. I have an actual gavel, you know, the thing the judge hits on the desk to call people out of order. I did not have a gavel at home, so looking through my workshop, I found a rubber mallet. I do not have the little fancy platform you hit that on, so I found a 2x4, and so you will be out of order if you don't do things right. But again, not too intimidating. A teacher 20 miles away through a Zoom meeting with a rubber mallet. So we will make this work, and we'll see what you guys think about some of these laws. I'm very curious, and we will vote among the majority who actually show up. So if you are worried about your bill being, I'm just going to go through the bills. They were turned in 1 through 55, and I'm just going to try to knock out roughly 15 to 20 a day. First 15 to 20 on Wednesday, next 15 to 20 on Thursday, and the next 15 to 20 on Friday. If I can, I see somebody in the Zoom, I will try to get to your bill, but it's kind of a little clunky. So that's what we're going to do moving forward. I'm pretty confident that if you put in much effort, you will get the points for the participation. And so far, the presentations that I've seen, graded about a dozen, have been actually pretty good. So look forward to that. I will talk to you one last time in this format on Friday, the fun day video, and goodbye. All right, stay safe out there, guys. See you in the Zoom meeting soon.